Hi guys, welcome to Grudy's Race and Resto. Keeping with the Sunday theme, it's just not as much of a fun day today. So this morning I did a bit of tuning. We have the tune really good. I ended up pulling the radiator back out again yesterday before we took this to a smazzer meet at Churchill. No, I didn't get any footage. I kind of end up just talking to people and just socialising. We took it for a gorge run. Brakes got a bit squealy. Car's very, very capable. Now, before we left yesterday, I had noticed something with the harmonic balancer. We'll get into that in a minute. So to give you a bit of an idea, the car's very, very good. Steering, braking, everything works. The brakes are actually better than... The feel is unbelievable with no booster, right? But we've got BP40 rear, BP30 front, and the front started squealing after I gave it a hard time. So I've pulled pads out, chamfered the pads today. I have other work I've got to get into, but I've been trying to get this car finished so Jo can drive her car and so we can have something decent to drive for a change. There you go. Airplane, flight path. Right. So at the moment, the alternator's working amazing. The alternator ran fan, ran water pump, ran absolutely everything last night with headlights, high beams, low beams, everything, no issue. One issue with the electric water pump, which I don't know how many people have the same issue, is it cooled too much. So this last night wasn't a hot night, 18 degrees, somewhere like that. So the paint on it isn't too bad. It's got a couple of little issues. All right, but the paint job was actually half decent. Now, it didn't get hot enough, so I'll need to do like a slip-in that'll slip in the side of the radiator, probably on that side, like a card that slips down like a Perspex or something similar, so I can block off a chunk of the radiator because the water pump didn't slow down enough for it to warm up to its 72 degrees that I had it at. All right, 72 or 74 we've set the fan. Now, I have plugs out at the moment. They're all not too bad. Now, see that line? Can we see it with this one? Hold on. Fuck's sake. Let's give it like this. No, we can't see it on that one. Sorry. Let's see if there's one here. There might be a darker tip. You can't really see it, but what it is... There we go. See the black line that turns brown? That's roughly where it should be. Along there is where it should be when you have your timing correct. The heat range of the plug's not too bad. It could go to a 7, from a 6 to a 7, right? Because it's all the way up here, so it's a tad hot. When it's all the way down here, it's too cold, right? You want it 1 or 2 threads down, which it's actually not bad. So we're close. So we might leave it a 6 for now. Colour's looking real good. Pretty happy with the plug read. Now, there's no harmonic balancer on it. All right, let's get into this. Let's see if we can show you what's going on. Hold on. Let's chock up the camera. Right. You can see there the end of the crank and the dial indicator. Right. Anyone want to guess why the harmonic bounces around? That to me looks like a bent crank. Now this has a $2,000 crankshaft in it. Yeah, there's 20 hours in this crankshaft. 18 or 20 hours in. And if you look back in the videos, you'll see it towards the start. In aero, fully ground, fully aeroed, knife edge trailing, aeroed front, right, so aeroed Sunday Arvo, aeroed leading face, knife edge trailing, like a teardrop, yada yada yada. That's what we do to most of the cranks. Ooh. What is this? Ooh, we've got something going on here. Anyway, I have had some measuring tools out. Right. Let's have a look at these. Hold on. Give me a sec. Let's look at them out here. Right. This is the crank sleeves that I've had made, which are made out of 4140 chromo. I trusted the machinist for them to be as perfect as I would have made them, because that's what I used to make, and these are the ones that I used to sell. Now, these are made out of 1020 or 1040. I can't remember what the bar stock was. And then I heated them, micro-polished them, and they're just not as hard on the surface as I would have wanted, hence why we went to chromo. But that I've measured, and all the way around, it is the same thickness. That one is perfect. The ones my machinist made for me aren't. So now I'm trying to prove what's going on before I ring the machinist. And it's Sunday. I don't think it's a good idea to ring him today. So these, I need some better. I need a stand or a tripod. Right, what do we got here? Here we go. Look at this. Put in a cylinder head. Right. These are different thickness. The 4141s from there to there. By one of them I measured before was 6 thou. And it's enough to throw. So hold on. Give me 2 secs. Wait. I'll pause and I'll go get something. Still there? Okay. Rightio. This is our hub. This is our bolt we use. Alright? Goes into crank. Now, this is the bolt that we use. Now, this is where it gets a little fucky. Now, these washers get cut down. They go in because the crank comes all the way to about here. Now, that sits inside there. See? So, if this isn't perfectly flat to this edge, what you get is that'll bolt onto the crank, which it does, and then it'll pull the end of the crank over, because you'll have a little bit of this here, which will do that. So now, my $2,000 crankshaft, that's what it's worth in labour, isotropic polishing, everything else that's happened to it, plus it's been fully balanced to the system that's there, has now got a bent snout. So now, our very expensive engine, due to a part that I had made, which should have been better than mine, but it's not, may have just cost us a massive dollar crankshaft. Yeah, it's definitely not such a Sunday fun day as expected. But yeah, to give you a bit of an idea, guys, this is what we're up against at the moment. So I don't know what's going to happen this week. I'm a little devastated at the moment. Yeah, shit, what do you do? This is what happens when you build engines. Now, I should be able to trust machinists and suppliers with everything, especially when I have people make stuff like this. So I have a bunch of these. Right, there's 2. Hold on. There's 3. I have 4. These are my ones. See, this is how they were. So I would make them, but they're not hard enough. So the seal would chop into them over a bit of time. All right. So I'd make them, I would heat them, and then I'd quench them, and then I'd micro polish them. And I thought that they were fine. I've used them before. I've used them in a few builds. But then I thought I would step up and do some chromos. And this is where we're at. So to give you a bit of an idea, hold on, we still filming? Okay, it's going to be a little bit longer than normal. All right, to give you a bit of a better idea, this just gives you a bit of a rough idea. 1816, 1802, 1790. All right, so what we're trying to do is we're trying to get it 1805. See where I'm trying to get it? Right on the edge there. 1818. 1813. 1799. 1790. So we're 0.20 of a millimetre on that one. The last year has been... I'm going to sit down. So anyone that knows me, actually personally knows me, understands that I'm having ADD. I'm a little hyper emotional. Hold on. We've done a little bit of trike stuff I'll show you before we go to. So having ADD and the way it is for me, like I'll be talking sometimes and I'll talk about something and I'll say, and this, then I'll just go on another train of thought. I apologise, it's just how it is. I do my best to try and explain as much as I possibly can. This car has pushed me utterly to my limits. Some builds get a little bit out of hand and crazy. This thing, I've had supplier after supplier and other people, absolutely just even amazing people, make mistakes on this job. There was my machinist gave us a balance job for free, did the machining on it, absolute amazing guy, faultless, absolutely faultless. Brenton is an amazing man. He's the only one that didn't make a mistake on this car, on any of the stuff that happened. I had the bullshit with the cylinder head. If you go back through some videos with good old Rama, thanks, mate. You really set this one up for a fucking absolute nightmare. I don't know what to say. All I know is the hundreds of people that have contacted me asking me in regards to the cam setup and any of the parts that he supplied, his company supplied, I do not promote. So that's on you, mate. You fucked up there. Good one to promote your stuff, but at the end of the day, whatever. So this one's been a really, really hard job. Sometimes some builds are really, really hard. Some builds will break you. Only feel out. So now I have to, this week, I've got work to do. I've spent an extra week on this that I shouldn't have. I have to get back to work. I have to get some jobs done. Brian's car's on the hoist. I have to have the engine out of that tomorrow. I'm going to put a lightweight aluminium harmonic balancer on this car. I'm going to attempt to loosen the crankshaft bolt just a little, or I'll probably loosen all the way. So radiator's got to come back out. So tomorrow sometime radiator will come out. I'm going to attempt to de-load the end of the crankshaft and hope, I'm praying that undoing the bolt will pull the load off and the crank will pop itself back into place. And then we put a lightweight harmonic on so we can move it in and out. And when we have a chance, car will go back on the hoist, motor will come back out. Yeah, motor will come back out because the seal sleeve has to be extracted off the end of the crank. All right? Now, to extract it off the end of the crank, I can't weld and pull, put a little bit of heat in without damaging the seal. I'll try, but I don't think I'll be able to do it with the engine in. I'm going to give it a go. Might be able to pop seal out, so we'll see. And if we can do it with the engine in, I'll film it, I'll show, blah, blah, blah. But it will still be the car. That car's got to go up on the hoist. So at the end of the day, I still need to get this car up on the hoist so as I can get it out and I can do it from underneath. Doesn't matter how many times you you dot the I's and tick the T's. It can still be an issue. This shows me, as anal as I am and as much of what I measure and everything that I do can still be, I think they're $60, those sleeves. I had a bunch of them made. So now they all have to go back to him and I need a bunch more made, but perfect. No deviation. The polished one of mine that I showed you, that I can measure it on camera if you really want, if anyone doesn't believe me, but that was perfect all the way around. And I made that on my Seneca Falls, my 1913 lathe, which was 110 years old, 109 years old when I made them 2 years ago. So yeah, Sunday's not such a fun day. Stal, she says hello. Hey? Animals, mate, animals. They're the things that keep us all alive. So okay, enough of that. Motor's in the trike, getting somewhere with the mother-in-law's trike. She'll be happy, she'll be riding it soon. Got to finish the seat base, wire it up, put the tanks on, put all the front tanks on, and remember everything goes. 2.7 to 2.9 build on the go. We got a heap of shit happening in the shop this week. Oh, see this? See this? Try not to let you look at the floor. Right, 885. It's a reconditioned head. Had a little bit off the face, a little bit more than what we wanted, but that's fine. This will probably go on going on 2.8 with probably an 80th hour head gasket. The intake manifold is DBLS. I've welded up all the top of the manifold because it has a massive restriction. The DBLS manifold's a beautiful piece of kit. You can get this onto an M20 with a set of Webers just on top of the distributor. It's close. So I'm taking the top of this out because there was a big bulge in here. So I decided I'd weld the top of the manifold up to make the manifold good. So now I have to work out how many degrees off it is and then bend the head, and I need to make a fly cutter this week. So I'm going to go in, I might just buy some Chinese shit. I'll just buy some more of these. So what I'm going to do for a fly cutter, shit like this, just buy some more Chinese stuff, and I'll weld on the end of I'll slot one of my R8 pieces for my mill, and then I'll push it in and I'll weld it in there. You don't just weld with mill stuff. You never ever just weld things on the end because it'll just snap off and smash you in the face. All right, so yeah. Sunday fun day. Motor's in the trike. And yes, more M20 woes. One bonus with it. It honks. Yeah, it honks. It's the 200, 210 kilowatt kind of range that I've driven with the other ones, like the blue car. The rally car made 203 kilowatts. This has got more. This definitely got more. It's really seriously trying me. I think we'll be up around the 215 to 220 kilowatts. Might even make a tad more. We'll see. But once I've got the time, I get more tune in it. I'll get on the dyno. I've been promised a little bit of dyno time. And we'll put a sticker on the car. Nice. So yeah, you never know. You can throw $30,000 at an engine, throw it right out the side. You can be as careful as possible and do everything right, and the manufacturer have a faulty part, and it costs you all your money. So I'll keep you all up to date as what happens, and we'll go from there with the m20b29 race engine. And just as a final thing, we'll do one of these. I appreciate everybody that comments, and yeah, appreciate everyone that watches. Thank you. I hope you have a lovely week.